Hi.
Welcome back to BS Movie Reviews, Part 3.
Yes.
The Leprechaun, Movie 1.
Yeah. Movie 1.
For
Yeah,
sure.
so basically, right, we got past our favorite scene.
This is when the Leprechaun gets his ride. It's a little orange truck.
Fuck.
It's a little toy truck, and he hops in and he's going down the street, and the cop pulls him over. And that's when the cop says, "Aren't you a little too young to be out so late?" And he's like, "No, I'm 600 years old."
Yeah, he's
And
like...
the leprechaun, and then the cop is like, "Oh, really? Now take off that mask and whatever."
Show me your shit.
That's when he's like, "You shouldn't make fun of a leprechaun." That's that cheesy line.
You shouldn't.
Yeah.
You shouldn't.
And then the cop bends down, thinking it's just a kid to talk to him, and the leprechaun just reaches out and grabs his face and just scratches him, and sees his gun, so he grabs the cop's gun. And the weird thing is what's that?
He's chasing him through the woods.
Yeah, the weird thing is this cop, after that happens, instead of running back to his car to drive away, he runs into the forest, and he's just running in the forest deeper and deeper. He has no idea where he's going. And
although, the leprechaun won't catch him anyway.
Yeah, he starts chasing him and disappearing and popping up behind trees, and I'm over here, and ends up just...
he was a mean little fucking bastard.
Yeah, it was funny, too, because he starts running away, and the cop's like, "Okay, I'm going to go the other way." And he's like, "Thank God," and he sits down by a tree thinking it's all over, and then the leprechaun comes out from behind, lands on his shoulders, and breaks his neck. And then, at that point, he has the cop car.
Yeah, the leprechaun also... I just want to get down to the little basic things. The leprechaun has this weird fetish with... saying nursery rhymes and like making little jingly just rhymes up
it's
himself.
Wicked.
Try as they may, try as they might. Huh?
That's how.
Well, he's just like
Well, he's a leprechaun. He's. If you guys don't understand what a leprechaun is, they're
little green people that run around on St. Patrick's Day trying to... I don't know what they're doing. They just run around on St. Patrick's Day apparently, and they make shoes.
Well, some of them.
And they
this
guy has an addiction to shining shoes.
Yeah, he's a shoemaker.
Leprechaun.
And they use it against them sometimes. At one point, to distract him, they start throwing the shoes in the dirt, and he's going around cleaning them. Yeah. Which, I don't know. It's like, your job or your money? Like, which is more important at hand right now? I'd be going for my gold, then I'd be cleaning the shoes.
I don't know. If you're addicted, it's kind of like the money is your job if you're a leprechaun, and like the shiny shoes is like your addiction. So it's like, that's my goal, but I need to do all this first. You know, you're like, it's like smoking rock.
But yeah, so anyways, everyone finds out that it is a leprechaun. They all see it. They didn't believe Ozzy throughout the whole time, and they're still denying it too. Hey, Ozzy's like, "Look, that's a leprechaun, right?" And
yeah, he's just... And
Tori's like, "I don't know what it is, blah blah blah, whatever."
Yeah. And that's when basically the leprechaun's like doing all this generic shit, like eating Lucky Charms and...
Yeah, he breaks into the house before they get back home, and he's looking for his gold. And he finds a box of Lucky Charms, and he's like, "Ah!" And he goes to eat some, and it tastes like crap to him, so he tucks it. And anyways, but after they all find out who it is, they tell Ozzy to call the cops, and Ozzy dials 911 and tells them to come to the O'Grady farm, hurry, quick, it's an emergency, there's a leprechaun here. And right when he said that, the cops started laughing, and they're like, "Oh, leprechaun this week," because I guess every week Ozzy calls in the police for something. Last week it was aliens or something.
No, it was Bigfoot.
Oh yeah, Bigfoot, and the week before that was something else.
Aliens or something.
And the chief was just like, "Just leave it alone."
Yeah. Well, essentially a lot of the rest of the film was basically just the leprechaun running around, spooking everyone, and jumping out of nowhere, and
he ruins the whole review just because he doesn't like the movie.
Well, that's what it is, though. It's just like he just runs around.
Yeah, but you're missing cool little things.
There's... Well, okay,
Well...
Okay, name me a cool thing that happened.
Okay, well, after Ozzy calls the police and tells them, "I called the police," and the Tori asked, "Did you tell him it was a leprechaun?" And he said, "Well, yeah, that's what it was, wasn't it?" And she started freaking out, knowing that the police aren't going to believe her. So she's trying to call the police, and then she ends up getting a hold of him and tells him to come quick. There's we need help. Send someone. And so the chief does. He's like, "Okay, we'll take this one seriously. It's a girl we never heard of." So they call up a unit to go check it out, and lo and behold, it's the unit that the leprechaun killed. Yeah. And he's sitting in the car, and he's like, "I'll take the call," but he sounds like the cop, and he's like, "If I need backup, I'll send I'll send for backup."
Yeah.
Whatever.
So it's basically just it's like a trap, and they I don't know,
it's a pretty good movie. I rather enjoyed it. Doesn't matter that it wasn't scary.
It had its moments.
It had its moments. Well, after that, so now the police think it's taken care of. Someone's going to check it out, and the leprechaun just raises hell more and ends up. I don't think he kills any of Ozzy or the kid. Or Nathan.
He bites off Ozzy's ear.
Yeah, he bites Ozzy's ear off and scratches him up a bit because Leprechaun finds out that Ozzy swallowed his last coin, so he wants to get it.
And the little kid, by the way, the Alex wants to fix Ozzy's brain.
Yeah, that was when they found the pot of gold.
And you were telling me that Ozzy wasn't retarded?
Yeah, he's not retarded. People just think he's retarded like you.
Are you saying I'm retarded?
He's just a fun-loving guy who likes to read comics and do little kid things.
People just think,
doesn't make him retarded.
People just think he's retarded like me. That's what he just said.
Yeah. People like you think he's retarded just because he likes to do little kid things.
Oh, well, no.
Except he acts a little better than a little kid because Alex is swearing throughout the movie, hey, and Ozzy keeps telling him, watch your mouth, we're going to wash it out with soap kind of deal. And
yeah, it's true. It's like
Ozzy's just a little slower, that's all. He enjoys the simpler things in life.
He's retarded.
He's not like Nathan and Tori all about the sex. He just wants to read a comic, damn it, and paint a house.
I like Ozzy. Don't get me wrong, I love him. He's my favorite character, but I'm just saying, he's gay. We still have
Yeah, anyway, so they realize what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to... and another whole thing. This is when we find out that Dan O'Grady's in the retirement home place, and they go to talk to him to find out what the killing is, and Tori goes in the first room to talk to him, and he's like, "Yeah, I know the secret, but I'm not going to tell you." And he turns around, and it's the Leprechaun, and she starts freaking out running, and this is when the Leprechaun's chasing Jennifer Aniston through the home in a wheelchair. He's just cruising, just giving her, and she's taking off. She gets into the elevator, and it's going down, and that's when Dan O'Grady's real body comes falling through the elevator, and he's hanging there, and he said, "I knew he was going to come back for me, and you must kill him." And that's when she says why or how, and he tells her the 4-leaf clover, you got to get it in the clover patch. So she goes there to get the clover, and they end up finding it. And all you got to do is believe, and a light comes, and she finds it. So now they're trying to kill the leprechaun, and it doesn't seem to be working. Oh yeah, they come into the barn, and Ozzy says, "You want me? You want me? It's in my stomach." He runs away. Leprechaun goes chasing him. They're holding out the 4-leaf clover. It didn't do nothing. And that's when Alex comes up and grabs it.
His bubble gum.
He grabs his bubble gum, grabs it, and they're like, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm going to go save him," and goes running, and then says, "Hey, Leprechaun, fuck you," and slingshots the gum with the 4-leaf clover into his mouth, and that's when the Leprechaun starts to melt and fall down the well, and then he comes up, and they blow him up. We talked about that.
That's the end of the movie. So, how many Jameson Irish whiskey bottles out of 10?
Oh yeah, Jameson. Oh, I'm going with. I'm gonna go with 7. I thought it was a good movie. Actually, you know what? 7.5 even.
I'm giving it 6 because it had the one pogo stick scene, and I liked Alex and Ozzy. So the characters were enjoyable in that way. But other than that, I thought it was fucking retarded and redundant.
You're retarded.
Watching people. Now we're gonna go to the next film, which is Leprechaun 2.
Leprechaun 2.
Bye.